Let's start with the basic idea. A Gaussian copula is a tool used in finance to connect the risks of different assets. Each asset has its own default behavior and its own probability distribution. Instead of changing these individual distributions, the Gaussian copula keeps them exactly as they are and simply adds a relationship between them. In other words, it separates individual risk from dependency risk. This is very useful in credit risk because assets may default together even if their standalone risks look completely different. The next step is mapping. To compare different assets easily, we convert each distribution into a standard normal distribution. The important thing is that we do this on a percentile basis. For example, if an observation is at the 20th percentile in its original distribution, it will be mapped to the 20th percentile of the standard normal distribution. So the relative position stays the same while the shape becomes normal. This creates a common framework where all assets can be analyzed together. Once both assets are on the standard normal scale, we introduce correlation. This means we define how strongly the assets move together. For example, one asset may have a default probability of 4%, another 7%, and we may assume a correlation of 0.35 between them. The Gaussian framework uses this correlation to describe how likely extreme outcomes happen at the same time. The key idea is that correlation is added after mapping, while individual risk characteristics are preserved. Finally, we use the Gaussian copula to estimate joint default probability. We start with each asset's cumulative default probability, map them into standard normal values, apply the correlation structure, and then convert the results back into default probabilities. This tells us how likely multiple assets are to default together. The intuition is simple. Higher correlation means a higher chance of simultaneous defaults, while lower correlation means defaults behave more independently. That is why Gaussian copulas are widely used in credit portfolio risk analysis.